joining me. I'm Nyla, and this is my little sliver of the internet where I'd love to take you through some movement today. This will be a little bit of a combo of some yoga, movement, and Pilates. So whenever you're ready, let's start in this nice tall seat. And we're just going to take a moment here to ground down, just grounding into the sit bones, seeing if you can really feel the full length of your spine. Crown of your head reaches up, and then your shoulders can release away. And then taking a nice full inhale and an exhale through your mouth. And then just taking 2 more rounds of breath. You can just take them naturally, but seeing if you can start to increase the length of your inhales and then definitely the length of your exhales. So that you can just ground into your space, into your home or wherever you're practicing, and feel into your body, just feeling the aliveness of your cells and becoming nice and tuned in. So present, in tune with what's happening in your body, where you feel sensation, where you feel heat or coolness, where you feel muscles either tensing or gripping, or also the opposition, where you feel like they're lengthening out. And then last breath cycle like that. And then from here, we're just gonna take our right hand down towards the ground, taking your left arm up and over for a nice side bend here. And then really breathing into the side, coming back through center. And as you take your next exhale, opposite arm comes up and over. So you can kind of bend into your supporting arm so that we're just increasing the range of motion each time you go for a side bend. Seeing if you can really kind of round into one side and lengthen the other side simultaneously. And stay nice and rooted through your seat, through your sit bones as you find this gentle flow. Inhaling through center and exhaling over. And then last time like that. And then you can come to settle back into stillness here. And then when you're ready, transitioning over towards an all fours or quadruped or tabletop position, whatever you fancy calling it today. And then just arranging wrists under shoulders, knees under hips here. And then when you're ready, just taking a nice inhale to drop your belly, lifting through your gaze, letting your sit bones spread. And then as you exhale, see if you can curl the tailbone under, contract the abdominals to round your spine, pulling everything in and pressing your palms to the ground. Inhaling to release your belly down, spread through your seat, open through your chest as you look forward. And then exhale as you round away. Seeing even as you exhale, if you can feel like a gathering or drawing in of all the core muscles. So as you really round out the spine, especially through the mid back here. And then inhale, reach. Exhale to round. And you can add any movement that feels nice here. If you want to add in a circle or a little sway of your hips from side to side. Anything that feels good as you take one more breath cycle here. And then you can take your hands forward and your knees a little bit further back here when you're ready. Tucking your toes, we're going to lift our knees just to a hover and then hold that there. And then press your hips all the way up towards the sky for a downward facing dog. Really press into your heels and your palms, lifting your hips a little bit higher. And then from here, we're just going to ground, really feeling like the elbow creases are spiraling forward, hips are high. You can bend the knees as much as you need to get some length through the legs and the back. And then from here, we're going to ripple forward. Your chest comes forward, finding a low, long line with your body here into a plank. And then as you exhale again, lift your hips then and back. Drawing the hips towards the sky. And then as you exhale again, ripple forward. Body weight shifts. You're looking down and forward, pressing into the palms, drawing the core muscles in. And then inhale, press the hips back. Just going to flow like that 3 more times. Exhaling, ripple forward. Inhale, press back and lift your hips. And then again, exhale, legs forward, body weight shifts. Palms stay nice and grounded in line with your shoulders. And then inhale, lift. And then exhale again. Coming to your plank, holding here. And then we're gonna lift our right toes up. And then you're gonna shift your body weight back as you point your toes, reaching towards the back edge of the room, coming back in, flexing and releasing. And then left toes will lift. We'll point the toes, shift back, forward and down. And you can just keep going like this and see if you can really keep everything still in space. It's just your leg moving straight back and forward. Nice. Last one. And in, taking your knees to the ground, pressing your hips all the way back to your heels to find a nice child's pose here, just releasing for a moment. Taking a full breath into the back body and an exhale through your mouth. And again like that, inhale, exhale, release. And then you can walk your hands over to the right side of your mat, taking a nice stretch into the left side of your body. Breathing from the hip to all the way to the armpit, between every rib. And then back into center and over to the opposite side. Breaths into the right side this time. And then hands can come back into the center. You can walk your hands in towards you. And then from here, we're gonna come towards our bum, taking our feet towards the earth, sitting nice and tall again through the seat, arms reach forward. Take a nice breath in, come tall. And then as you exhale, you're gonna think about scooping and rounding the abs and the back here. So C curve of the spine, round back, sweep your left arm back in space. And then inhale, lengthen back up nice and tall. And then exhale, right arm will sweep back as you scoop round the back. Sweep the arm back in space, gaze follows along. Inhale, we lengthen. And then exhale, sweep. And inhale, sit tall. Exhale, sweep back, right arm goes behind you. And then inhale it in. And then 2 more times on each side. We go back and we lengthen tall. If you need to sit on something here, you can. Use a pillow or a prop. And we'll just keep going like that, flowing like that. Round the spine back as you take your arm back in space. Inhale, find that tall spine. Exhale, round. Pelvis rolls away from thighs. And inhale up. And then we're going to exhale, left hand sweeps back. We're going to hold there. Take a nice breath in. Ooh, itchy nose. And then out. And then inhale, lengthen back up. And then keep your shoulders stacked towards your back. Exhale, press back. Right arm sweeps. Taking a nice breath in here. And out. And inhale, back up. Woo. And then take your arms behind you and give yourself a nice sway. Rinsing out the knees from side to side. Little windshield wiper here. Taking a little moment. And taking one more on each side. And over. And then you can come back into center here, shuffling your feet forward. And then from here, we're going to take our arms forward and then we're going to roll towards the mat, one bone at a time. Same thing where we scoop through the abdominals, coming down, one bone at a time lands to the mat. When you get to the bottom, you can either keep your knees bent or you can extend your legs long. It's up to you here. See how you feel. You can try both. We'll start with our knees bent and feet on the ground. Arms are going to come overhead, but not all the way down to the ground. We want to feel some connection of the ribs and hips and core here. So we lift to here. Inhale, reach. Exhale, slightly tuck your chin. And then exhale, start to round and roll yourself up. Coming up and over your thighs. And then we're going to go back in space again. One bone at a time. Plug the shoulders towards your back as you drip each spinal vertebra down to the earth. Then taking your arms overhead. Again, you can try this with your legs extended, heels flexed, feet flexed, ankles flexed. Reach up, ground your heels, anchor them into the ground as you come over again. Keep that roundness through your spine as you come to arms parallel with knees or shins, and then we come back again through space. Plug the shoulders back, take it slow, reaching your arms up and slightly overhead. You can use a little bit of momentum And if you can only come to here, this is also the same exercise, and you can just come back down. Otherwise, you're going all the way up and over. So it's really where you can come to. Think of just peeling each spinal vertebra at a time and taking your ribs towards your hips every time you come up. And then reach. Sometimes if you hold weights, that can also help with just getting a little bit of momentum to take you up and over. Think of really planting your heels into the ground if you're doing this with your legs extended. And then we'll do that 2 more times here, reaching up with an inhale, slight tuck of the chin as you round, hollowing out the abs, scooping them in to come over. And then again, watch your shoulders, make sure they're not coming too far forward. And come back. For your last one, see how much you can take each bone up at a time. And if you take it slower, it gets a little bit harder. And then come all the way back, all the way down to your back. Releasing down at the bottom here. And then from here, we're just going to come to our forearms. So you can think shoulders in line with elbows here. And then right away, reach the crown of your head up so that we're not sinking into our shoulders. And then take your legs towards the sky, one at a time. Here we're going to glue the thighs together and take the legs around in a circle. Exhale halfway, inhale the rest of the way. Keep looking kind of towards your feet or a little bit up. And then again, same thing. If you need to bend your knees here, it's the same exercise. You're just circling the legs around. Or you could do it with the legs extended, but it might be better on your hip flexors if you bend the knees. Halfway, inhale the rest of the way. And then we can reverse the direction from here, you guys. Careful not to sink too much into your shoulders. And up. And then 2 more. Knees might be bent as you take your last 1.5. And 1 for luck. All the way around. Lift, bend the knees, take your feet down and release down to the ground here. And then just give yourself a little press of the soles of your feet together. Let your knees splay out for a moment in this supine butterfly position in yoga, or also known as Supta Baddha Konasana. Or you can just think of making a diamond shape with the low half of your body. And taking 3 breaths here, grounding breaths. So that we're finding strength in movement and flow, and then we're finding the opposition of it. We're finding stillness, we're finding lengthening, softness, and then taking another full breath cycle here. And then from here, we're just going to transition over towards our left forearm. So you can come towards your left side. Forearm down, shoulder again is roughly in line with elbow, and then shift your knees back slightly so that they're more in line with your bum here. And then from here, you're thinking side plank. So we're just going to lift through the left waist and reach your right arm towards the sky. And then we're going to go for some dips. Down, lower, and lift, lower, and lift. 3 more times, down and up. Lower the waist, lift, but keep everything pointing straight up. Down, up, and then we're going to add a rotation, so you can take your hand to your head and rotate towards the earth. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rotate. Keep the waist lifted and the waist, both sides of the waist nice and even. And up for 2 more. And up, and twist, and lift. Reach, and release your hips down. And then come all the way over towards your belly from here, making your way towards your tummy. And then once you arrive on your tummy, we're going to keep the hands bent, so elbows bent here, forehead down on the ground. And then as you exhale, you're just going to lift head and hands together. So press into the thighs, lift your head and hands, and then lower back down. And then 3 more like that. Draw the shoulder blades together as you come up, just looking forward and down on the mat, and then down for 2 more, and lower, and 1 last one, lift, and then reach your arms back towards your feet, turning in the palms to face your thighs, and then same thing, we're going to reach the fingertips towards your toes, shoulder blades come together as you look down and forward on your mat, and then exhale, lower. Press the upper thighs into the mat. Feel your toes reaching away from you and your fingertips reaching to your toes. Breathe in and see if you can hug the core in as you come down to the ground. And then 2 more like that. Reach. Breathe in and lower. Exhale, lift. Reach back. Breathe in and lower. And then from here, press into your palms. Send your hips back, taking a shell stretch or child's pose here. And taking a moment to ground down before we set up for the next side. Hopefully you're starting to feel like your body is moving and feeling things. And then we're going to come towards our right forearm from here. So all the way down to the right forearm, shoulder in line with elbow. Again, think of the knees coming more in line with the hips this time, or the bum. And then from here, we'll find our plank. So you can lift your left arm, reach your waist up. Obliques are working to stabilize you. Then we dip and lift. Lower and lift. Nice. We're going to do that 3 more times here. Exhale, inhale. Keep breathing. Or you can inhale down and exhale up. And then last one. Straight up, hold here. You can either keep your arm long or take it to a bend. Exhale to rotate towards the earth. Inhale, lift. Imagine your ribs are wrapping down towards the opposite hip or the ground. And then another 3 times here. And lift, lower, and lift. And then last time, and up, reach, and then lower your hips down. Beautifully done. We're going to come over to our back here. And then once you're down on your back, just see if you can feel like you're gathering the core muscles in, thinking of softening the ribs down and in towards the hips. Your back might kind of press towards the earth here, and then take your legs one at a time to a tabletop. Reach your arms towards the sky, and then as you exhale, reach your right arm back and your left leg forward on a diagonal. And then inhale back in, exhale, reach the arm and leg away from each other. So kind of a dead bug here. You're reaching the leg just to a diagonal, so you can really hold those core muscles in, like how we got into it. So you want to practice being nice and stable without kind of tipping your weight from side to side here. And then we'll do that 3 more times on each side. And in for 2. And reach. And last one. In, out, and in. Beautiful. Then you can take hold of the soles of your feet, taking your arms towards the inside of your legs and reaching the soles of your feet towards the sky, pressing the knees gently towards you and towards the ground to find a nice happy baby here. Resting the upper back, shoulders and head into the ground as you do this. And taking a nice full breath cycle here. And releasing. And then your feet can come all the way to the ground. And then from here, we're just going to lift and lower the hips. So you can lift your hips straight up to a bridge, bring the ribs and hips together, and then lower the hips straight down. Open the hip creases, lift, inhale, exhale, lower the hips down. And then reach again, inhale, and lower down. Glutes work as you press up, shine the knees away from you, lower down for 3 more, and lower, and then 2, and lower. Last one, nice and even through the body, and then reach your arms up towards the sky here while you stay in your bridge, and then take them all the way overhead. You can come to your toes here, letting your chest open up, feeling a little extension in your spine, and then lower the heels, reach your arms up, and take the arms all the way down alongside you. We'll do that 1 more time. Reach your arms up, take them overhead, let your toes come to a tippy toe, heels lift. Full breath in, breathe into where you feel space. And then as you exhale, arms to ceiling, heels come down, releasing the palms down alongside you and lowering your hips all the way down. Beautifully done. From here, we're just gonna rock ourselves up to a seat. So however many rocks it takes you to get there. And then once you come to here, you can tuck your right foot in towards your left thigh, and then keep a flex through the left foot. Reach as tall as you can, and then rotate towards the extended leg or towards that hip. And then really think of finding that rotation through the torso. Bend the knee a little bit if you need to kind of come down towards the leg here. So you keep actively thinking of rotating to face here and then reaching down. So you're thinking of kind of stretching into the QL here towards the back of the right side. And then finding that rotation. You can take hands to ankle or knee. You can come a little bit higher, whatever feels good for you. And then exhale to come all the way up. And then we're going to switch legs. Left foot tucks in towards right thigh. Right leg extends as you rotate the torso. And then as you exhale, fold forward, coming down towards that thigh. Again, maybe you bend the knee, or maybe you have lots of flexibility. You can keep it straight. Doesn't really matter what it looks like, it's more how it feels. So if now you can kind of feel that stretch towards the opposite side, and of course your hamstrings, and then release down as best as you can without pulling anything, just releasing, softening. And then as you exhale, sliding your hands back up, coming back to find your seated position that you started in. And just taking a moment here, taking a nice full inhale through your nose. And then exhale, you can sigh it out your mouth. Release your shoulders. And then that concludes your little mini Yoga Pilates flow that hopefully you inserted into a point of the day where you really needed it. Let me know how you liked it. And really thanks again for joining me and giving me the opportunity to move. See you next time.